do it. Just do it. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it. Make your dreams come true. Just do it. Some people dream success. Well, you're going to wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. Gotta rub the mouth. You should get to the point where anyone else would quit. And you're not going to stop there. No, what are you waiting for? Do it. Don't know what he's doing there. Just do it. Yes, you can. Just do it. Wipe the mouth. You should get to the point. Oh, no, I screwed up. By the way, I'm using Shia LaBeouf to get into the streaming mindset. If anyone, what is going on? I know, it is very, truly inspiring. Thank you, Shia, for all of your good work out there. All right. Morning, everybody. My name is Jared Lear. I've been drumming for over 25 years now. That means I'm old. But I still got plenty of stuff to work on. So today, I'm going to actually be working on refining my left hand technique to make it so that it matches my right hand. Because, you know, when you march traditional for several seasons on high school, on college, and for DCI, and then you switch over to match grip, your left hand's not going to be as good. So, that's what I'll be working on today, and we're going to be talking about some questions, or a question that I got on the tube of you. So, stay tuned for that. Actually, I could do that right now. Let's do it. Let's do it. Best drummer in the making, sometimes. With the motivation by Shia, then most definitely. We'll get there. Don't you worry about that, folks. All right. Let's talk about this. So, I got a question on the tube of you, and I'll zoom in for you. Whee! Whee! Zoom out. One. All right, so this is on one of the shorts that released a day ago. Okay, so the question is, can't speak. Would doing singles on their own be more beneficial than doing an exercise meant to increase chops? Excellent questions. No, yeah, I appreciate you asking that. Let's talk about that. Okay, so actually probably the easiest way to talk about this is to pull up this stuff. Yeah. On the website. Okay, so on my website, there's now over 1,700 hours of free drumming content on here. And I think we're almost at 700 grid variations. Yeah, so we got a bunch. Let's talk about this. So we've got down here stick control variations like this. Woo, it's big. Now it's small. The advanced stick control with filler. So this one is great. So you're working on this, and you're working on just singles. So normal, and then you fill it in. And then you go into the triplet version. So singles are great for like just working up like hand speed, etc. However, I would argue that there really aren't exercises specifically for working on chops. There just are exercises that have more chop-related stuff in it, if that kind of makes sense. So in general, chops is kind of a term for speed, endurance, and power. It just kind of means like any combination of those three things. So you could literally just be refining techniques slowly, and that will improve your speed and power, which improves your chops in the long run, even though you're playing it slowly, which is what I'm going to be working on today's stream. But if you think of the singles, what's going on right here. So if we play the first line, though, there's nothing too exciting about that. But if you're sitting here and playing, I don't know, like a chutichuhs, like that one a guy named, I don't know, who mentioned cheese, and I responded with chutichuhs in the YouTube chat. Here's what your hand's doing. So it's a very weird combination of accents and taps and a little diddle in there. So honestly, I would say that singles is one very small part of your chops, like working on this. But if you actually like work on some of the exercises that are on my website, the ones that are like labeled as chop exercises, just again, because it's more chop heavy, like this exercise right here, if we just look at this and look at like what the hand is doing. So we're doing a bunch of like flam accents and whatnot. So you're doing accents and taps. So that's one thing you need to work on your chops whenever you're doing any flam patterns. But also the diddles. So like, where is it? Right here, this part. That's a whole lot more than just doing singles. So yes, singles are a great way that you can work on one aspect of your speed, endurance, and power, which is also known as chops. But you need to also work on other stuff. So what I'd recommend, honestly, working on to improve your chops is to work on, like, you could do grid variations. Like sticking variations is a great way to work on chops. So are diddles and so are flams. If you work on those three things with different accents and taps, then you will improve your chops over time. So good question. But chops is many different things that can be combined to kind of like create this. But anyways, that's a question that I got on the tube of you, so I figured I'd answer it before we start. But we're going to start off by warming up, and actually, since we already pulled it up, let's, whoops, went too far. Well, let's do this. Advanced stick control with filler. And we're going to do this to warm up, get the hands flowing. I have not drummed at all in like 3 days. Is that what it is? 4 days? I like didn't sleep well one night and then was just like, yeah, I don't need to do a drum stream in the morning. And I slept in. I got like 8.5 hours of sleep. It's phenomenal. 88 sleep score. Yeah, woot. Okay. By the way, if this is your first time in here, then you can check out the timestamps for any one of these play-alongs, and it allows you to jump to a specific BPM. So that way you can be like, hey, I want to play this at 80. And then it'll play it at 80. And it'll tap you off, and you'll be ready to go. This is slow. Triplet version. A little wonky there. Yo, Ghost. Good morning. Let's go up to 90. Again, I'm just going in the timestamps. You click on a BPM, and then boom, it counts you off. Sometimes after a short break, like if it ends with a 0 or a 5 for the number. Bad attack. You're in a different state. A different state of mind? I'm also in a different state. At least from you, I assume. You're in Hawaii. That's my guess. Nice. Alrighty. Let's speed her up. We're gonna go to 100 now. Link at the top of the screen takes you to hundreds and hundreds of free play-alongs that I create. Release a new one every day. One just released 10 minutes ago. I forget which one it was. Hey, one day. I just had an interesting idea. Stay tuned to find out what it was. All right, 105. Dude Perfect posted an Angry Birds in real life. That's funny. What an interesting job. Single stroke roll go crazy? I mean, sometimes. Snowy, by the way, I answered your question at the start of the stream, so if you get past the Shia LaBeouf imitation motivational speech at the beginning, I talk about your question, so you should be able to rewind on YouTube. Good morning. You're welcome. A little wonky at the end. All right, let's stretch and massage. Sticks like this. Palm up. You pull in. You pull in. You push out. Ooh, this feels good. Yeah, so Ghost, like the Dude Perfect stuff. Those people who do that, like larger than life, like events and whatnot, basically, on their YouTube. It's fascinating. It'd be a really interesting life. But not the kind of content I want to create. I prefer educational stuff, or just like showing how to have fun, like gaming and whatnot. So this is obviously the more educational, but sometimes entertaining. Occasionally. If you do traditional, hold it here and rotate. Hold it there and rotate, but I don't do that anymore. Now I'm going to stretch here, and you can do this one at a time. Oh, that feels great. You can do it on your pad. You could do it on the wall. The lower you go, the deeper the stretch. Let's do that one. Don't put all your weight into it. You don't want to tear stuff. That'd be bad. Very bad. Okay, so back here, you probably can't see it, but this is a chalkboard. Both of these are chalkboards with the music note that I use for my website, 8-bit note. So when I scooch in and out of here between the drum kit and the wall, I sometimes bump into that. And there's a little goldfish looking like smudge, right? Here. A little goldfish. I just noticed it, and I think it's funny. So I thought I'd point it out. So enjoy the view of the tiny goldfish. Although if that was like a goldfish, like the little crackers, then that'd be a pretty large goldfish. Probably be a full meal. Now I'm going to stretch the top side of the forearm. You could do one at a time. You could do it here. You could even do this on your leg or like a sibling or a large dog, whatever. I'm going to do it on the wall. The higher you go, the deeper the stretch. Yeah. Don't sue me, Little John. I quoted you. Yeah. Now we're doing thumb to thumb. Stretching. Just trying to loosen things up. Get nice and relaxed. And now finger to finger. Index. And now the finger you don't say hello with unless you want to upset some people. And the ring finger. Oh, that one needs a longer one. So we'll hold it. And then the pinky. Okay. Now I'm going to do thumb on top, fingers underneath, and we're massaging. Messaging. Trying to loosen everything up. Depending on what you do the morning of or the day before or a couple days before, you might need to also massage your shoulders, massage your triceps, your biceps, etc. Wow, the color contrast difference on these two cameras, it's impressive. It's like ghostly white in the bottom left corner and then slightly orange. Looks good. Nope, it's pumpkin pie. All right, now we're massage the other one. Ooh wee. Okay, now I'm going to massage with the fingers on the back side of the hand, and the palm is being massaged by the thumb. I almost said the palm is massaging the thumb. I mean, I guess technically it's pushing back on it, but, weird physics sort of way. And then we go to the other hand. It's a beautiful day outside. Should do outside drum streams. I'm sure my neighbors wouldn't mind. 7 a.m. outside drumming. They'd be like, "Oh, Jared woke us up. Thanks for being an alarm clock, Jared." And I'll be like, "Yeah, you're welcome, neighbors." We're massaging from base to tip now. At least 2 times. Maybe 3. Maybe 4. Oh, a little pop. Poppity pop. And so tonight I'll be doing a Fortnite stream. It'll be fun. And tomorrow morning I should be doing a tenor drum stream as long as, I sleep good and all that. That's my priority, not streaming. of all the content that I create, streaming is the lowest tier of priority level. The highest tier is like the scripted stuff or things like that. Like I've been doing a bunch of Scratch videos, which is like a programming platform that I used with like second grade all the way up through like even graduate students to teach them some intro programming stuff. So that's like the number one thing that I focus on. And then like the podcast that I create for computer science educators, and then all of the free drumming resources as well, like all these play-alongs and whatnot, which are here. Now that we've stretched and massage, let's go faster than we should. Just trying to speed up the hands, try and find the breaking point. I think it's going to be 125 will be the crash and burn point. 120 is going to be rough, but stay tuned, folks. We'll find out on this morning's episode of Jared Plays Things. Bad attack. Alrighty. 120. This actually might be the breaking point. I think I overestimated. Stay tuned. +7 energy. You know what? I survived. I will survive. We're gonna crash and burn at 125. I'm intentionally finding the breaking point. It just gives me data for what to work on. Woo! Stop. Honestly, that was like this, the edge, and now we're gonna just like jump right over the edge and crash and burn completely. Don't worry, I've got my invisible safety helmet on. Stay safe. Drumming, dangerous sport. You hear that bird? It's weird. almost crashed and burn point. My left hand was like, no, stop it. Okay, I'm actually going to go into the lesson section in a moment. But first I want to show you, if you go to /gear, or a shortcut, you can just click here, or in the menu. You can find the practice pads, the sticks, the books I recommend, all that fun stuff. These are affiliate links, so it does actually help me out if you click on these at no cost to you. Like, here's the pad I'm using, here's the other pad that's underneath it, and then there's the pad that's underneath that. Pad Inception. And then the sticks I'm using are great for building chops. So the Hardeman hammers. These are extra heavy, and they're double taped. So these are about 44% heavier than my normal double taped Hardeman sticks, which I got down here in my stick bag. So if you want to work on your chops, this is a great way to help and build up your endurance and all that fun stuff. But let's go back here, and let's see the last stream that I did on this one. I'm going to mute myself for a moment. Let's see how fast I got. Alright, so we ended at 60. Cool. But I actually want to try something out real quick. I think it'd be fun. Maybe. Let's find out. I'm going to start on a different partial. And we'll see how this sounds. This might sound weird. No. Actually, let's do it on this one. We'll start on the E. I totally screwed it up. I screwed up again. I started playing a different spree. 99 Blue Devils. There we go. Oh, that was ridiculous. It didn't sound good. That's okay. It was fun. Cool. So we figured out what BPM I need to go at. So 16th notes, there's just under 400 grid variations here. I'm just going to do the stock version. And I'm specifically going to work on double stops to just try and get my left hand to match my right hand more. Because I need to improve that. So we're going to click. Set it to 60. And refining the technique slowly. We started this at 20. Whew, that was slow. Took like 3 minutes to get through one rep. Double stops are great to hear if your hands sound the same. You should hear popping sound. I can't speak without screwing up, apparently. You don't want to hear a flam sound. Wifey. Got the moves. Okay, so my left hand, I need to try and continue to relax it. There's a dog hair on the camera. Mini. Oh, wow. That was great. Trying to relax. Oops. The accent. Just pull them back. And getting the sticks to vibrate. Especially on the taps. there's vibrating, that gives them enough room to have the vibration, which causes like more sound. And it means most likely that you've got a more relaxed technique. And then if you're choking it off, it wasn't plugged in. So she do. Thank you. Sometimes. Gotta say, I'm a bit distracted by my wife was trying to close the door, but Minnie was just standing in the doorway, refusing to move. Minnie's my dog, our dog. Yeah, so the left-hand taps in particular are a little wonky right now. So we're working on it. Let's do overhead cam. So it's going to tap us off again. Adjust that, because OCD. Hence why I march snare. Simon, do we need to get out the fire extinguisher? Oh, no. Trying to match the hands. Ah! It's perfect. It's extension. It's implied. Wrist. All wrist. So the this is probably the easier way to show you. So I'll play through it side with the side. So the goal when I'm playing this is to give it enough space in the hands for the stick to vibrate, but not enough that I'm like doing this. I'm not trying to keep my wrist stationary while I do these accent taps. That's the technique that I was taught in high school. and it led to all sorts of hand issues, like a popped vein in my left hand right here, which is like turned all purple and whatnot, and early signs of like tendonitis and carpal tunnel, so not good. But yeah, so it was a really tight technique where we were squeezing really hard and we weren't supposed to move the wrist at all, and created all this tension right here, hence why this popped. So yeah, I focus on wrist technique, and if the arm moves a little bit, then cool. Nothing wrong with that. So yeah, let's play this again. But I'll show you side view. So a little slight molar action. Other side. Wrist gives you more power. It's a little slower than fingers, but it sounds better. Whoops! As long as you play the right part. Wait.
Good morning. Oh, I love you.
All right. Had to give a hug break. Toast. Okay. Here we go. Toast with peanut butter and jelly. Enjoy that ASMR experience. Ew. I got an idea. Stay tuned. Do it at 74. Wow. Okay. The left hand in particular. Actually, after I play 74, I'm going to jump this up to 100. Use that to get data. And then I'll go back to 75. I don't know what my brain and hands were thinking and doing in that moment, but makes me giggle. Okay, we're gonna go to 100. You've been working through Master Studies 1, helping your technique. Oh, nice. Yeah, I relied too much on finger and switched over to wrist mainly. So it's like we did the opposite. I use finger when I'm playing like really fast, but otherwise I try and focus on wrist technique. But there's a bajillion ways to play. I've seen some phenomenal people play with wrist only, phenomenal people play finger only, etc. Oops. I was trying to get to like the breaking point so I could get some data, and I definitely found it. So what I'm going to do now, actually, is I'm going to go onto my website, and I'm going to go live, and we're going to go back. I look so concerned. And we're going to watch this. 6 likes. I appreciate you all. Thank you. Much love to you all. Okay, so I'm doing this so I can watch how I'm playing and get some data with it. So let's break this apart. Finger only, etc. So my right and left look different. My left's a little higher than my right in terms of wrist placement. Okay, let's do this now. I'm gonna go back, and I am going to critique myself a lot. All right, so we're now doing this at 25% speed. Whee! Wow, I sound great. Yeah, practicing in a mirror is great, but this is even better. And the reason why is because you can actually watch yourself after the fact without having to think of 2 things at the same time. the playing correctly and critiquing your playing. So if you actually like watch a recording of yourself, this goes way better for you because you can put all of your brain power into just refining and critiquing, etc. Okay, pinky coming out, just kind of messing around and tap off. Okay, look at this. So my left hand is higher level-wise than my right hand is. So that's no good. Okay, so that's something that I can work on. My left index finger is honestly more relaxed than my right. This is probably a carryover from like back when I used to march. They had us like pulling the finger really far. And so I'm not used to being as relaxed with the right as I am with the left. So this is a habit because, again, marching snare, you have the match grip in the right hand. And so this hand has not changed over the past couple of decades, whereas my left hand went from doing this now to doing match grip. And so I'm trying to catch up here. Okay. So see how the left hand is slow right here? I don't know if you remember it, but when I was in the 70s, I was talking about how my left hand was slower than my right. And so this, you can actually see it's later, like hitting get up. That's where I'm getting the little flam effect. And we've got some tapping consistencies. My left is higher, probably because my left hand is raised up, and I need to lower my wrist a little bit. And the motion is different in the hands. So you can see, I talked about this before, but I have a modified rotary match grip. It came from a timpani technique. Oh, you can't see the screen, actually. That's funny. So the right hand is doing that, but my left hand is still knocking motion. Good habit of you got a bad habit of your pinky coming out. Okay, so let's actually talk about the pinky coming out. So when the pinky comes off the stick, what you're really doing is giving space for your stick to vibrate more. So it's not necessarily a bad thing that the pinky comes off the stick. It's only a bad thing when the pinky comes off in a way that causes tension along here. So if you are taking your fingers off the stick to let it vibrate more and to give it more space for it to be able to move, that's okay. But as soon as you start to do this kind of approach where it looks like you're sipping tea or sipping coffee, then it can create that extra tension in the wrist itself. So the pinky's not a bad thing. It's only when it goes too far when it becomes a bad thing. In my opinion. Many ways to play. Yeah, so again, the left is too high still. See the little modified molar there, which is good. That's what I want. Gives you more power. And so, see, my left hand is flattening out. And that's what I don't want. That's something that I'm trying to work on. In the faster speeds, it goes back, it creeps back into from this approach to a Germanic grip. So from the American grip, well, here are the three. So we have French, which is thumb up. We have German, which is completely flat. And then we have American, which is like an in-between the two. So my left hand is switching over to Germanic grip, more so than my right. So you can see the difference in the angles here. So this is the angle for the right hand. Yeah, you can see my mouse. Okay. And then this is the angle for the left hand. So it's a steeper slope than it is with my left, especially on some of those little notes. Okay. Interesting. Let's go back to here. And we were at 75. And unmute. And go. Tasty. Full screen. Why is it not playing? Why aren't you playing, friend? Play. There we go. Had to double tap it. Why did it stop playing? Whoa! That's why it's at 25%. It's like, man, something's off. Actually, let me pause this. I'll be right back. A little more flams. I'm trying to adjust my technique based off of what I just watched. It's weird, like, thinking that I can go lower with my left. Good morning, doggo! I just feel like I'm gonna hit a rim. All right, last rep. Let's watch this. Beep, 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 beep. Going live. That's me. Okay, that's right. Now we're gonna watch this at 25%. I want it full HD. Come on, we don't want lower quality. And we'll go ahead and turn down. Actually, let's listen to how it sounds. It's me messing around. Left hand's high. See the wrist height? Still higher. It's better. Slightly higher though than it should be. You can even see with the thumb right here, and if we go straight across, boop, it's like, what, half an inch higher? Fail. If we look right here as well, you can see this left hand is flatter than over here, the right hand. So again, got to continue to work on that. The left hand's a little high. Hit my sticks. At the end of this line, I make a slight adjustment to my right hand technique and my left as well. So I extend this finger out slightly and I pull the left hand in slightly. So see the right hand finger coming out more, and this one's going in more, pulling in. So I'm trying to get them to match. And now look at the angles on this. It's a little bit better than it was earlier. So still got to work on this left hand in particular. Yeah, you can see the mouse. Okay. So, yeah, it's better than it was when I first started this. But this is going to take a lot of practice to, like, get rid of the technique difference. Like, months, if not year or more, of deliberately working on it. Yes, my left is actually higher than my right in terms of the accents. So if you look at it... Oh, that one was okay-ish. And a little bit late there. See how it's higher? And the beads, you can see it's a little bit after the fact. So, yeah, I'll keep working on that. Oh, look at that pinky. Yeah, so I'm going to continue to refine this. I almost went to 2 times speed. Let's see how fast I can really play it. Alright, I'm going to go back to my website, which, by the way, YouTube added in some new links. I like the way they look. So we made them fancier in here. So you can just go straight to the little drum emoji and then click on that, or you can find the gear that I use. You can also find, like, the merch that I'm wearing, the shirts. I always wear my own merch because I'm not promoting other people's stuff. I'm not promoting billion-dollar companies. All the content that I make is here, but if you go to the drumming stuff, this is where you can find all the play-alongs that I've been using. Got a couple more questions. Did you choose a march snare from the start of high school? Or how did I decide, like, what I was going to play? That's a good question. So, and the second question, yeah, that's a great question as well. I'll answer that one too. So, doggo. First question is, did I choose to go with marching snare? Actually, my sophomore year, I auditioned for tenors because I wanted to, like, be able to move around on the drums a bunch. I just thought it would look cool doing crossovers, like playing behind your back, etc. And I didn't make it. So this was sophomore year of high school. I ended up becoming the pit section leader that year, and like really practiced hard, and ended up becoming like first chair of every ensemble in band and orchestra, etc. And through that practicing, I decided to go for snare because there were more positions on there. And snare ended up being like, I actually liked it more than I thought I would, because it's so OCD. Like you're like random grandma who's never drummed before can hear the dirt on a snare line, but might not hear the dirt on a tenor line. So even though tenors were fun to play, I like the challenge, like being somebody who like literally has and has worked through OCD tendencies, like being a perfectionist and whatnot. Snare is the thing to go with. And so I stuck with snare because I had so much fun with that. And so I did 2 years in snare in high school. I did a few years in drum corps, and then I did 2 years in college on snare. And then I switched over to tenors afterwards because when I was teaching drumline for like a decade, I wanted to get better at all of the instruments, not just be really good at snare. So I worked on match grip and worked specifically on like tenors, which is why you see me like tomorrow morning I'll be working on the Beatlicious tenor solo on here from Quad Logic, and have had a lot of fun with that. So I like taking my snare drum OCD and applying it over into tenor drums and try and make it sound good. Because a tenor player is, no offense, but they have a tendency to make all the heights kind of like here and here. Like there's your accents, there's your taps. And so it's all the same. Whereas snare is much more perfectionist. And so like when I'm playing tenor drums, I'm trying to take that OCD approach and do it on the tenors to make it so it's actually two heights and not just one blurred together mishmash of heights. But they're both fun. My wife did march bass for, I don't know, a year or two in high school, something like that. And she really enjoyed bass line. She liked the collaborative aspect, and then like what it was like when you would hit a run together as a group. So she liked that, but I've never actually ended up marching bass. I did have opportunities to do that, but I was like, nah, that doesn't sound interesting. Which, speaking of, if there's marching bass stuff, if you're into that, I highly recommend checking these out. The splits timing is my absolute favorite. Let's show you a fun one. So, like, if you want to work on your fours, let's go way in here. Okay, so the first part, both parts. Okay, so it's playing both. Drum one, drum two. The second set, it mutes the second part. And then the third set, it mutes the first part, so it allows you to actually practice these. Etc. So if anyone's watching this and you do bass drum, I highly recommend checking this out. Great way to practice your splits timing and whatnot. But to get to your second question, so when getting near the limit of your chops, do your hands tense up? Yes, they do. I try and limit that as much as possible, but when I'm doing what I'm about to do, my hands most definitely tense up more than I'd like. But again, it gives me data for what to work on. So like if I'm like playing through like a chop exercise and I notice that like I'm tensing up in my fulcrum, okay, cool, that gives me data for when I slow this down and work on like, I don't know, flam axis or something, then cool, I'm going to intentionally try and relax my thumb to make sure that my fulcrum's not too tight. So yes, your hands will tense up, but the goal is to not tense up whenever you're playing like these exercises and whatnot, which we're going to do some slow paradiddle, and I'm feeling chutichuhs. So let's go down here into the timestamps, and let's do 120. Going a little long on today's stream, but I want to chop out. Good questions. Paradiddle, left, right, left, hence the name Slow Paradiddle. You're very welcome. Fun one, right? Slow paradiddle. There's 8 other variations on here, on my website, on my YouTube channel. go to the playlist, or you'll find all of the computer science, all of the gaming stuff. Create too much content sometimes. Paradiddle, paradiddle. All right, and instead of going completely chop out there, I'm going to do what I attempted to do earlier, and we're going to go back to the live, and we are going to play on the second note, where you'll find all of the computer science, two Jareds, all the Jareds. Too much content sometimes. Okay, now let's have some real fun with this. All right, so we're going to speed this up. And we're going to do this again with 3 of me. And I'm going to start on the third note. 2 Jareds. All the Jareds. Okay, now it's... Okay. Now we're going to do this again. I think I may have screwed up starting on the 4th one instead of the 3rd. Let's find out real quick. Okay, so I started on 4, so I need to make sure I start on 3 this time. All right, here we go. Do this again with 3. I'm going to start on the 3rd. 2 Jareds. All the Jareds. That was ridiculous. I liked it, though. I'm going to work that up. We'll have all the Jareds. The Jared Snare Ensemble. It'll be like EMC Productions. Eric Carr, I think is his last name. Anyways, I'm going to call it here. So if anyone's interested, if you're on my YouTube channel, again, if you just go to the home screen or the playlist, that's the easiest way to quickly get to the drumming content because I create a bunch of gaming and computer science stuff. But if you click here, it'll show you just the drumming stuff. But if you prefer to go to my website, which is the easiest way to organize it all, if you go to the links section or just go to /gear, or sorry, /drum, that'll take you to all the drumming stuff. /gear will take you to the pads, the sticks that I use, books I recommend, etc. But there's 1,700 hours of free drum content on here. I appreciate everybody who stopped by on YouTube and on Twitch and whatnot. And anyone who is quiet on the other platforms, I appreciate that as well. But yeah, I'm going to call it here. I will be on again tonight. That's the plan. If you go to /schedule to do some Fortnite. And then tomorrow morning, I should be doing some tenor stuff, working on Beatlicious some more. So stay tuned for that. But anyways, I'm going to call it. I'm going to say goodnight. Goodbye, everybody.